Hey, it's the Drunktopus, and welcome to a journey through the hidden, the charming, and the delightfully lesser known beer gardens of Munich. We all love the classics, so I'm going to share with you the untouched side by tourists bathed in the golden glow of the local beers and whispering of chestnut trees. Places like this one, and this one. Summer is finally here in Munich, which means just one thing. It's time to ditch the indoor beer halls and head outside for some beer garden time. Let's get this adventure started. Now, let's be honest, the internet is full of top 10 beer garden lists that haven't been updated since, well, the invention of the internet. So this time, I've taken my tips from you. In my last beer gardens video, you all flooded the comments with suggestions of all the places that I should have gone. And guess what? This time, I actually listened. First time for everything, right? These are real tips from real locals and channel supporters. Hit that subscribe button below and become one. It's free. You'll find Insel Mühle tucked away on a little island on the Wurm River, which basically means you're surrounded by water and trees swaying in the breeze. It's like a secret beer garden oasis. First stop in our quest to find the chillest beer gardens of Munich, Insel Mühle. Translation, island mill. Intriguing, right? And yep, this place is exactly as magical as it sounds. It's really a beer garden experience that's equal parts charming and delightfully peaceful. This place isn't exactly downtown, but trust me, the extra minutes to get here are well worth it. Forget the shoulder-to-shoulder crowds. Here you can grab a table under the shade, listen to the water trickling by, and pretend that you've stumbled upon a secret Bavarian paradise. Now this joint might be a little hidden, and their beer is the local favorite Augustiner, and for food, it's a classic beer garden selection. How about we just don't tell everyone about this one, okay? Alright, let's shift gears and head towards the Taxisgarten. This one's in the Neuhausen neighborhood, which means it's again a little bit off the beaten tourist path, but that's a good thing. Yet another reward for being adventurous. Taxisgarten's got a rich history. It's been around since 1924. Can you believe that? While it's not right on the water like the Insel Mühle, there's a certain calmness here and a feeling of being tucked away in a green haven. Perfect for escaping the city bustle. Speaking of beer, they serve Hofbräu here, a classic Munich Helles that goes perfectly with their delicious dishes. Now, being a little further out of the city centre, the Taxisgarten is all about proper Bavarian comfort food, and let me tell you, comfort is their middle name. We're talking about juicy rotisserie chicken, the kind that simply can't be beaten, and their legendary spare ribs are rumoured to be the best in Munich. Let me check real quick. Confirmed. By now I can hear you all asking, hey Drunktopus, what actually makes a good beer garden? Well, I'm glad you asked. These, my friends, are the holy trinity of a Munich beer garden. Towering chestnut trees casting a cool shade on a summer's day. The communal beer benches where strangers become friends over a cold beer. And this one's odd, I really enjoy the sound of the gravel under your feet as you're trying to find a table. And a single brewery supplying the fuel for the afternoon. A little change of scenery as we head to the heart of the city and the Emmanuel Brauerei. The brewery takes a similar approach to their beer garden experience, self-service for the drinks and for their food. Now this spot isn't exactly unknown, but the beer garden often gets overshadowed by its bustling indoor restaurant, which is actually pretty good too. Nestled amongst the old-fashioned apartment buildings in Maxverstadt district, Max Emanuel's beer garden is a shady haven. It's like a miniature urban forest, perfect for escaping the summer sun. While the space isn't that massive, it packs a punch in terms of atmosphere. So if you're looking for a lively beer garden experience with a touch of the Bavarian tradition, then the Max Emmanuel Brauerei. could be the spot for you. Right, let's jump on the bike and crank up the Umpa beats and head towards our next stop, MichaeliGarten. The MichaeliGarten isn't your typical beer garden. Sure, it's got the regular beer garden layout. You can grab a beer, sit by the water. The view is the real star of this place. The MichaeliGarten is all about embracing the outdoors. You'll be able to grab something at the stall, your classic beer garden food like your Habishändel or some Käsespätzle. Perched right on the edge of the Ostpark Sea, MichaeliGarten offers a picture-perfect panorama of shimmering water, lush green scenery, and even a few lazy swans gliding by. It's like sipping your beer in a giant postcard, and honestly, it doesn't get better than that. One last thing to keep in mind is the MichaeliGarten can get lively, especially on the weekends. But that's all part of the charm. A great place to soak up the atmosphere and maybe catch some live music. So grab your bike, your swimsuits if you're feeling daring, there's a public pool nearby, and get ready for a fun-filled afternoon at the MichaeliGarten. Continuing our two-wheel tour of Munich's hidden beer gardens requires another push on the pedals. We're heading south to the Zum Flaucher BierGarten. This one's really hidden and tucked away behind the banks of the Isar. Now this spot isn't exactly a secret for the locals, but for the tourists, it's like stumbling upon some kind of Bavarian oasis. Imagine this, a lush environment accessible only by foot or by bike. Chestnut trees casting dapple shade over beer benches with the gentle murmur of the Isar River providing a soundtrack. It's like a scene straight out of a storybook, perfect for an afternoon of relaxation and conversation. Zum Flaucher's charm lies in its simplicity. It's self-service affair here, so grab a beer and get ready to explore the menu. Don't expect a fancy selection, but what they lack in variety, they make up in for flavor. Think Bavarian staples with their local touch. For the beer lovers, Zum Flaucher offers crisp Löwenbräu, perfect refreshment after your bike ride. Plus, with all this shade about, there's always a steady flow of people coming through to keep this place lively. So if you're looking for a beer garden experience that feels a world away from the city centre, delicious local fare, and a chance to mingle with Munich's cycle community, then Zum Flaucher is the beer garden for you. A little trip further down the Isar before we arrive at the legendary Waldwirtsschaft, or WaWi as the locals call it. Yes, more chestnut trees with a history dating back to the 15th century. Waldwirtschaft feels like stepping into a fairy tale. Live jazz in the background, including Bavarian specialties like smoked fish on skewers, are things that I probably would have mentioned. However, now I had planned to bring you to this place, but it is so busy inside I couldn't find a way to film it. Alright folks, last step on our little tour. We're trading the great outdoors for jet engines as we head to the unexpected oasis and the final stop, AirBrau, the world's first airport, beer garden and brewery. Yup, you heard me right, an airport. Now, you might be thinking, a beer garden at an airport? What the? Located right in the heart of the Munich airport, AirBrau offers a surprisingly authentic Bavarian experience. Okay, don't let the airport setting fool you. AirBrau has managed to capture the essence of a traditional beer garden with a unique twist. The beer garden itself is a spacious outdoor area, and this is where we break the rules a bit. No gravel on the ground, no chestnut trees. However, we do have a place to chill out of the way of the airport's hustle and bustle. Not a bad compromise, right? Food-wise, they've got a surprisingly diverse menu. AirBrau is no ordinary airport eatery. This could be your last chance before leaving to get the full-on Bavarian experience in a spot that's a breath of fresh air amidst the hustle and bustle of this busy location. It's a truly unique setting and a refreshing change of pace from the usual airport spots. And of course, no beer garden would be complete without their own tasty brews. AirBrau boasts handcrafted beers brewed right on site, from classic lagers to adventurous seasonal brews, something to satisfy every palate. You can even take a tour of the brewery and see where the magic happens. So if you've got a flight at the Munich airport, don't waste your time with the boring airport lounges. Instead, head to AirBrau for a taste of Bavaria with a side of jet fuel. It's a truly unique experience and one that you won't forget. Prost.